The October mist clung to the streets of the upscale Boston neighborhood like a persistent shadow, turning the world into a gray haze that matched the ache in 8-year-old Lily's chest. Her scuffed sneakers sloshed through puddles, and her oversized coat pulled from a forgotten alley bin and hanging like a defeated sail did little to ward off the chill. Clutching a crumpled dollar she'd fished from a storm drain that morning, she peered through the fogged window of a cozy bakery, hoping for a stale roll or whatever scraps her find could buy. Inside, amid the glow of warm lights and the scent of fresh pastries, a man in a tailored gray suit slumped at a corner table, his face hidden in his hands as his body shook with quiet despair. Across from him sat a small boy, maybe 4, staring blankly at a stack of blueberry pancakes glistening with maple syrup. The child's sandy hair was perfectly parted, his clothes spotless a crisp collared shirt and tiny jeans, but his unnatural stillness screamed of a deeper wound, one Lily knew all too well. The man looked up, his eyes swollen and haunted, dark bags telling tales of endless nights. "Come on, buddy." His voice broke, carrying through the glass like a plea to the universe. "Just one bite. Please, Alex. Your mom wouldn't want you fading away like fish to be heartbroken." The boy didn't flinch, his tiny hands folded in his lap, gazing past the food as if it belonged to another reality. Lily watched the man's shoulders heave, fighting a wave of tears that threatened to drown him. She'd felt that exact hollowness, soul-crushing void when the person who made sense of everything just vanished. The boy's lips parted slightly, his words a ghost of a whisper. "Mom's cooking. Only Mom's. Nothing else." Lily's heart clenched. That fractured voice was a mirror to her own, from the days after her world shattered 3 years ago. Without overthinking it, she shoved open the bakery door, the soft bell tinkling like an unwelcome intrusion. The heat wrapped around her like arms she hadn't felt in forever, carrying hints of cinnamon and yeast, but she brushed off the stares from well-dressed customers as she made her way to their table. Her wet shoes left muddy tracks on the pristine floor, her head held high despite the rags she wore. Patrons whispered, their looks a mix of sympathy and scorn. This grubby kid didn't fit in their polished world. Hi," she said quietly, her tone steady despite the nerves. The man jerked his head up, blinking at the disheveled girl standing there. His first impulse was to wave for the manager, but something in her gaze stopped him. Cold eyes too old for her face, carrying the same grief that gnawed at him. "Your little guy's missing his mom real bad, isn't he?" Robert Hayes gaped at this strange child. Dirty, clearly surviving on the streets, yet speaking with a poise that cut through his fog. "Yeah," he managed, his voice cracking. "She died 3 months ago, and he hasn't eaten a thing since. He's wasting away, and the doctors say if he doesn't start soon." He trailed off, the words too terrifying to voice, like admitting defeat in a battle he couldn't afford to lose. Lily nodded, as if she'd seen this script before. "My mom went away too. But after, I figured out something big." She turned to Alex, who for the first time tilted his head toward her, drawn by the calm in her words. She wasn't like the therapists who probed or the aides who pushed. She just understood. Sometimes, when moms head to heaven, they tuck their love into the food. But dad's gotta learn the special phrases to bring it out again, or it's just plain stuff, no warmth left. The whole bakery seemed to pause, the air thick with anticipation, as if everyone sensed a miracle in the making. Robert eyed the girl, his logical brain a product of boardrooms and billion-dollar deals, dismissing it as nonsense from a homeless kid. But then Alex shifted, really looking at her, his blank stare cracking with a flicker of interest. It was the first real response in weeks, and it hit Robert like a lifeline in a storm. "Special phrases," Robert repeated under his breath, afraid to shatter whatever fragile thread was connecting them. Lily bobbed her head seriously, like a professor unveiling a breakthrough. She carefully pulled herself onto the empty chair next to Alex, moving slow so he wouldn't spook. She was so small her feet swung free, but her presence filled the space. "My mom showed me before she got too sick. She said love gets stirred in, but without the right words during cooking, it slips away, leaving the meal hollow." Alex cocked his head a bit more, the tiniest curiosity sparking in his eyes, the most life Robert had seen since Elena's funeral. "What kind of words?" Robert asked, his tone laced with raw hope. He'd thrown money at every solution. Top child experts, fancy meal kits, even hypnosis. Nothing had cracked through. His boy was slipping away, and the helplessness was eating him alive. Lily fished a worn scrap of paper from her pocket, creased from endless folds, edges soft like old fabric, faint pencil lines barely legible. She handled it like it was spun from gold. These ones. Mom wrote him down for me right before the end. Said even if I was too young to cook, I should guard them for my own kitchen someday, or for folks who needed them bad. She laid it flat on the table. But your mom's already shared her version with you, hasn't she, Alex? Just different. Alex's gaze locked on hers, really seeing another person for what felt like ages. Mom. Mom hummed while she made stuff. Cheerful melodies in the kitchen. Lily's face lit up like he'd cracked a code. That's it, exactly her way of weaving love in. Every hum was a little piece of her heart going into the pasta or the pies. But now your dad has to pick up those tunes so the love can flow back through. Robert's throat tightened, memories flooding in. Elena had always filled their kitchen with light-hearted tunes she'd invent on the spot, rhyming about dinner ingredients, making Alex giggle from his booster seat. He'd loved watching, sometimes joining in a clumsy dance, but he'd never bothered to learn the words. He was too busy conquering the corporate world. After the leukemia claimed her, he'd tried everything. High-end deliveries, private chefs, replicas of her recipes from upscale spots. Alex turned his nose up at it all, insisting only on what came from her hands. I never memorized them, Robert admitted, guilt crashing over him like a wave. I was always at the office, sealing contracts, expanding the firm. She loved the home stuff, so I let her handle it. God, I should have paid attention. Lily's expression turned thoughtful, her young features creased with concentration, like she was solving a puzzle that could save the world. Well, maybe I could step in. I know some of my mom's melodies for the pot. And if Alex helps tweak the lyrics, remembering his mom's, her love might sneak back in a fresh voice, but the same heart. The hope surging in Robert's chest was almost painful, a mix of desperation and disbelief. You can cook? You're what, 8? 8, Lily replied softly, her words carrying the weight of someone who'd seen too much. When you're on your own, you learn or you go hungry. But I can tell your boy's mom was a real proits in how much he aches for her touch in the meals. Alex's voice gained strength, the first real spark in weeks. Mom's was the best. She sang upbeat, kitchen smelled amazing. She'd laugh when ingredients flew everywhere. Robert was stunned. This scrappy girl had drawn more words from his son in 10 minutes than a parade of professionals had in 3 agonizing months. The following morning, Lily huddled outside the towering glass facade of Robert's downtown office building, the Boston fog seeping into her bones despite her layers. She'd spent the night curled in a doorway a few blocks over, shielded by cardboard and her coat, gripping her mom's paper like a talisman, half convinced the heartbroken dad wouldn't show. Rich people tossed out promises like crumbs. She'd learned in her 2 years scraping by on the streets they'd spot a kid like her, feel a twinge of guilt, offer the moon, then vanish back into their cushy lives. But there was something raw in Robert's eyes yesterday, a desperation that felt genuine, like she was his last shot at saving his world. Right on time, a sleek Blacktown car pulled up. Robert stepped out, scanning the sidewalk until he locked on her tiny, shivering form against the stone wall. He wore another impeccable suit, this one charcoal, but his hair was a mess, like he'd raked his fingers through it in frustration all morning. Lily, he said, approaching slow, like she might dart off like a stray cat. You came back. I wasn't sure. I thought maybe you wouldn't trust a stranger like me. She pushed herself upright, ignoring the chatter of her teeth, trying to look tough instead of terrified. I said I'd help Alex. And I don't break my word. Her voice held steady, but Robert caught the tremble, the way the cold had her lips tinting blue. Without a word, he shrugged off his luxurious wool coat, probably worth more than a year's rent for most folks, and wrapped it around her shoulders. It draped to her knees, engulfing her like a blanket from a fairy tale. My condo isn't far, he said gently, his hand hovering protectively near her back as they started walking. Alex has been talking about you nonstop since last night. He's with his nanny, Mrs. O'Malley. She's been with us since he was a baby. She's as torn up about him as I am, maybe more. Lily burrowed deeper into the coat. inhaling the faint scent of cologne and polished leather, a world so far from her reality. As they passed high-end shops and cafes she'd only ever glimpsed from afar, she asked, "Is he still refusing everything?" Robert's jaw tightened, the haunted look returning. "Not a bite. After meeting you, he kept whispering about Mom's food. I tried everything, ordered her old favorites from the best places in town. He just pushes it away, getting thinner by the day. The specialist says we might have to force-feed him through a tube if this doesn't turn around soon. I can't let it come to that. I won't." They arrived at a lavish building with polished marble floors and chandeliers that danced light like diamonds. Lily tried not to gawk as the elevator whisked them to the penthouse, though she felt the doorman's judgmental stare boring into her back. The doors opened to a sprawling space, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the harbor where boats bobbed like toys in the distance. Sleek furniture in soft neutrals filled rooms bigger than any shelter she'd known, but the air hung heavy with sorrow, turning the luxury into something empty and cold. "Alex," Robert called softly. A woman with silver-streaked hair emerged from a side room, her face etched with lines of constant worry, but her eyes softened at the sight of Lily drowning in Robert's coat. "He's holed up in his room, Mr. Hayes," she said, her voice warm with an Irish brogue. "Wouldn't touch the grilled cheese used to be his go-to. Just slid the plate away and mumbled about Mom's cheese." Her gaze landed on Lily, full of maternal concern. "And who's this little lamb?" "Mrs. O'Malley immediately took charge, fussing over Lily's chill, but the girl pulled back gently. "Can I see him first? I made a promise, and those are sacred." Robert led her down a hallway lined with framed memories of happier days. A stunning woman with flowing auburn hair laughing in a bright kitchen, dusted in flour as she baked with a giggling toddler Alex. The same woman cradling newborn Alex in a hospital bed, both beaming. The family on a sandy beach. Robert pushing Alex on a swing while Elena snapped the photo, her joy infectious. Each image was a stab, a reminder of the life leukemia had ripped apart. Alex's room was a kid's dream, walls painted with colorful ocean scenes, shelves bursting with unused toys. He sat in the corner, knees drawn up, facing away from the door. "Hey, Alex," Lily said softly, lowering herself cross-legged on the rug a safe distance away. She didn't crowd him. She knew better than to force it. "I brought my mom's special note, like I said. Want to hear the secret phrases?" Slowly, Alex turned, his face even more hollow than yesterday, eyes ringed with shadows that made him look decades older. Lily unfolded the paper with reverence, smoothing it on the carpet. "This one's called Comfort Broth. Mom said it could sneak sunshine straight into your soul when everything feels dark." Alex crawled closer, pulled by the paper's mystery and Lily's gentle confidence. "What's it say?" "Well," Lily pointed to the faded lines, "you start by saying hi to each ingredient. Tell the potatoes they're sturdy and reliable. Thank the herbs for their fresh scent. Let the broth know you're grateful it chose to be part of something healing." Alex's eyes widened a fraction. "You chat with food?" "Absolutely. Food has feelings, just like people. If someone's mean to you, it hurts, right? Same with food. If you ignore it or rush, it won't give its best. But be nice, and it shares all its good vibes." Robert crouched nearby, witnessing the impossible. His cutthroat business instincts called it hogwash, but Alex was leaning in, engaged for the first time since Elena's passing. "Mom did that too," Alex whispered, a hint of excitement breaking through. She'd say, "Hello, shiny peppers," and "Thanks, hearty beans." "I thought she was just playing." "She wasn't playing at all," Lily said earnestly. "That was the magic pouring love in. And there's more. When you mix it all, you sing about the people you care about. That's how the love blends with the flavors." Alex reached out hesitantly to trace the paper. "Songs like what?" "Any that make your heart feel cozy, about your mom, your dad, feeling protected. The broth doesn't judge if you're off-key. It just wants the feeling from deep inside." "Mom sang about me while stirring," Alex said, his voice strengthening. "Made up ones with my name, funny ones that made me smile. Perfect, that's the gold standard. Do you remember one?" Alex thought hard, brow furrowed. Then he started humming softly, a simple tune that hit Robert like a punch. "Alex, Alex," full of cheer. "Mom's love makes it all so clear." Tears pricked Robert's eyes. It was Elena's exact melody, the one she'd croon over simmering pots on lazy Sundays. That night, after Mrs. O'Malley insisted on a hot bath and dug out some of Alex's old clothes that fit Lily's slight frame, the girl sat at the kitchen counter feeling almost normal, wrapped in soft pajamas that smelled of laundry soap and safety. Alex patted in, hugging a stuffed shark that looked well-worn. "Lily," he murmured, glancing toward the den where Robert was wrapping up an urgent work call. "Will you stay in my room tonight? The dark gets scary, and Dad looks so tired when I wake up crying." Robert caught the tail end as he hung up, his protective instincts flaring. This was still a kid he barely knew. But Alex's request was the first sign of initiative since Elena died, and it tugged at him. "If you're comfortable with that, Lily," he said cautiously. "There's a guest suite if you'd rather have space." Lily shook her head. "If he needs me close, that's where I'll be. My mom used to say the best fix for fear is knowing someone's there who gives a damn." They built a cozy fort on Alex's floor with plush blankets and pillows like clouds. As darkness settled, Alex spoke from his submarine bed. "Lily, Mom sang me to sleep every night. Said the songs kept nightmares at bay and filled my dreams with good stuff. Got any like that?" Lily paused, then hummed a melody her mom had whispered during those final hospital days, when pain meds couldn't chase all the shadows. It was simple, hauntingly sweet, brimming with tenderness. "Moonlight in your dreams, sweet child. Stars keep watch through the night, so mild. Angels guard your peaceful rest. Love holds you close till morning's crest." From the doorway, Robert listened, tears streaming silently. It wasn't identical to Elena's lullaby, but the rhythm echoed hers, the gentle sway she'd used rocking Alex as an infant, or humming over dinner prep, even as cancer ravaged her. It felt like her essence lingered in this incredible girl's voice. "How do you know that tune?" he whispered, stepping in. "All moms have it in them somehow," Lily murmured sleepily. "Mine passed it on when I was tiny. Your boy's mom probably had her take. Words varied but heart the same. It's the thread that ties all the love together, reminding us we're not truly alone." For the first time in 3 months, Alex drifted off without sobs, his breathing even and calm. Robert stood in the hall long after, a spark of something he'd thought extinct flickering back to life. This brave, enigmatic child had brought song to their silent home in mere days. Tomorrow, they'd cook as a unit, channeling Elena's spirit through unfamiliar hands, perhaps learning to thrive instead of merely endure. But as he headed to his empty bed, Robert couldn't shake the sense that Lily's story ran deeper than she'd let on. The familiar melody, her uncanny wisdom, the perfect timing of her arrival. It smacked of fate, as if Elena had orchestrated it from beyond, sending this girl to rescue the family she'd been forced to leave. Come morning, Lily stirred to find Alex by the window, staring at the Boston skyline with a focus he hadn't shown in ages. The light highlighted the flecks in his green eyes, so like his mother's in the photos. When he noticed her moving, he turned with a small, genuine smile that lit his whole face and sent a surge of hope through her. "Good morning, Alex. Sleep okay?" He nodded vigorously, then grew pensive. "Lily, I had this amazing dream about Mom last night. She was in our old house kitchen, the one before this fancy place, stirring and singing just like before. She looked strong and happy, not sick at all. Dreams of lost parents were holy ground till Lilino dismissing them. What did she tell you?" "She said you'd teach Dad her melodies, but twisted a bit. That love sometimes needs fresh singers to keep going, and she chose you to show us how to smile again." Chills ran down Lily's arms. Sounds like a message straight from her. "I bet it's true." Robert appeared in the doorway, dressed for what should have been another grind at the office, but holding a mug of coffee, looking more refreshed than he had in forever. The shadows under his eyes lingered, but his stance was less slumped, more alive. "Actually, I called in and cleared my calendar," he announced. "I'm staying home. I want to master this comfort broth the proper way with the songs, the thanks, all the magic your mom's note holds." An hour later, the three stood in the gleaming kitchen Elena had designed with such passion, now dormant and cold since her death. Shiny quartz counters gleamed under modern lights, every gadget top tier, but it had felt like a tomb until today. Lily placed her treasured paper on the island, its humble where contrasting the opulence. Mrs. O'Malley had laid out ingredients like a painter's palette: golden potatoes, vibrant herbs, tender meat promising nourishment. Okay, key thing, Lily explained with the gravity of a seasoned chef. Cooking ain't just steps, it's making pals with what you're using and calling in love at every turn. Alex, grab a potato and say something nice, straight from inside. Alex let out a real giggle, the sound Robert had missed like air, piercing his heart with sweet relief. Hi, potato. You're round and tough, and I bet you worked hard growing just for our broth. Spot on, Lily praised. Now, Dad, your turn with the herbs. Don't overthink, just let it flow. Robert felt ridiculous chatting up plants, but his son's eager face made him dive in. Hello, herbs. Thanks for being so aromatic and green, for soaking up the sun to make today special. Lily grinned. You guys are pros already. Time to get cooking. But the biggie, Alex, any of your mom's kitchen tunes come to mind? Even just the hum is gold. Alex shut his eyes, digging deep. Then he hummed tentatively, the notes carrying Elena's unique cadence, her pauses, her joy. Words trickled out, stirring round, love goes down. Warm my boy from toe to crown. Potatoes twirl, herbs too. Broth for me and you. Robert's breath hitched. It was Elena's Sunday ritual song, word for word, the one that had filled their home with warmth. That's the one, Lily clapped excitedly. Your mom's love anthem. Now we all join in while we work, and the broth will taste like pure care because we're pouring it in. As they chopped, stirred, and sang, something electric happened. The kitchen came alive, heat from more than the burner. Alex measured with precision. Robert belted off key, but sincere. Lily guided like a conductor. When the broth simmered, its aroma wrapping the room in comfort, Alex took a spoonful unprompted, his eyes lighting up. It tastes like Mom's hug, he said in awe, then polished off the bowl without pause. Robert sank into a chair, hands trembling as the terror of the past months began to ebb. Lily, I don't even know where to start thanking you. You've handed me my son back. You've pulled us from the brink. But the moment shattered with his phone's harsh ring. Mrs. O'Malley answered in the adjacent room, her voice rising in alarm. She returned, face ashen. Mr. Hayes, that was Child Protective Services. They're hunting for a missing 8-year-old girl named Lily who bolted from foster care 3 weeks ago. Alerting hospitals, shelters, everyone. They sound dead serious about her being in danger. Lily went rigid, her spoon clattering, her expression slamming shut like a door. Robert glanced between Mrs. O'Malley and Lily, his mind spinning with questions that suddenly felt like landmines. Lily, is there more to your story you need to tell us? Lily's hands shook as she set down her utensil, eyes darting like a trapped animal scouting exits. The kitchen's coziness turned claustrophobic, the penthouse a potential prison. I didn't want to lie, she breathed, barely audible. I couldn't go back to that hellhole. Her shoulders quaked, and the dam broke, tears she'd bottled for weeks pouring out. It was supposed to be short-term, till they found me a forever spot. But it was packed with kids, food always running low. And the guy in charge. She hugged herself, shrinking. He'd say creepy things, make the bigger girls do stuff they hated. I told my caseworker, but she brushed it off, said I was fabricating for attention, that troublemakers like me always point fingers. Robert's blood boiled, not at Lily, but at the broken machine that had let this happen. You're safe with us. No one's touching you. But they'll drag me back, she sobbed. Runaways get punished worse, homes, or locked up till adulthood. They warned me one more slip, and it's juvie for good. Alex, wide-eyed, piped up with fierce resolve. Dad, we can't let him take her. She fixed me, brought back Mom's music. It's our turn to shield her. Mrs. O'Malley, a veteran mom herself, spoke measuredly. There are rules we gotta follow, but maybe paths around him. Lily's done wonders for Alex in days what therapy couldn't in months. Robert's thoughts raced. His fortune and network could bend doors open. But Lily was state property, her file likely stamped with difficult. Lily, he knelt to her level. Hear me out. I'm calling my lawyer, the sharpest in Boston. We'll fight to keep you here if that's what you want. But I need your trust and the full truth. Lily scanned his face for lies. Trust a rare commodity after so much betrayal. But Robert's sincerity reminded her of her dad before everything fell apart. There's something else. Why I was at that bakery, it wasn't random. I was hunting for Alex. She pulled a folded newspaper clipping from her coat, edges frayed from handling an article on Elena Hayes' death with a family photo. Found this on a bench a few weeks back. Read about Alex stopping eating after his mom, and it hit May had to find him. Mrs. O'Malley gasped. You were looking for us on purpose? Lily nodded. My mom always said her recipes were for sharing with kids who hurt like I did. Reading that, it felt like she was whispering, go help that boy. I staked out your building for days, waiting for the moment. Robert was floored this child had engineered their encounter with strategy beyond her years. That's unbelievable. But how'd you know we'd hit that bakery? I tailed you from the lobby that morning. Saw the sadness on your faces, how skinny Alex looked. Through the window, the tear sit was now or never. The phone rang again, slicing the tension. Mrs. O'Malley answered, her face clouding. It's them again, want to speak to you now. Say they've got tips placing her nearby. Lily's face drained of color, pure panic. They tracked me. They're coming to haul me away. Robert's jaw clenched, determination stealing him. Not while I'm breathing. He snatched the phone, his voice shifting to the commanding timbre that closed multi-million deals, edged with barely leashed rage. This is Robert Hayes. M.S. Thompson from Protective Services. We're searching for Lily Reed, 8, runaway from foster. Reports suggest contact with you, brown hair, undersized. Doorman confirmed a girl yesterday. We need access immediately. Robert glanced at Lily huddled with Alex, the kid's fear palpable, fueling his fire. And what exactly went so wrong in your care that streets seemed safer to her? A beat of silence. I don't like your attitude, sir. This is about an at-risk kid who could be in peril. Save it. This call's recorded, and my attorney's joining any follow-up. Call back in 2 hours if you must. He slammed the phone down. Lily stared, incredulous. You just hung up on him. Won't that make it worse? Likely, but it buys us time to lawyer up. Over the next hour, Lily spilled the nightmare details. Michael Thorne's foster setup was a cash grab masked as charity to dozen kids squeezed into a house for half that. Rations skimpy, oversight nil, and dark behaviors the stressed workers overlooked or denied. The hardest was the little ones bawling for their real families, she said softly. Stuck there forever, like ghosts no one saw. Mrs. O'Malley dabbed her eyes. That's no life for innocence. Alex chimed in. Dad, if they send her back, can we just adopt her like rescuing a kitten from the pound? The question's purity gutted Robert. It's trickier than that, kiddo. But maybe not out of reach. His phone buzzed a text from his attorney. On my way. Then the intercom crackled. Mr. Hayes, 2 from Protective Services downstairs. Insist on coming, you purgent child matter. Lily jumped, terror etching her features. They're here. It's over, they'll rip me away right now. Robert hit the button. My legal team's arriving soon. They can wait in the lobby. Sir, they've got a court order for immediate seizure of any minor matching the description. Lily broke down, clutching Alex as he started to freak. Please, don't make me go. I'll be perfect, do whatever, just not back there. A primal protectiveness surged in Robert, the same fierce drive that had seen him through Alex's birth, Elena's diagnosis, every crisis. I swear on everything, I won't let them send you to harm. Do you believe me? Through sobs, she nodded. Mrs. O'Malley, get the kids to Alex's room and bolt the door. Only open for me. To Lily. Remember what you said about moms leaving love in the food? Well, adults sometimes gotta stand tall to guard their own. That's me now. As he moved to confront them, his phone rung an unknown number that sent a chill down his spine. He answered, voice taut. Hayes. Detective John Ramirez, Boston PD. We need to discuss Lily Reed pronto. Fresh developments flipped this case on its head. His grip tightened, pulse racing. I'm all ears. We've collared Michael Thorne, the foster operator. Got solid proof of widespread abuse and negligence across multiple kids. Lily wasn't just bolting, she was escaping a crime scene. We're now prosecuting full force. Relief clashed with fury in Robert's gut. What proof? Can't spill all over the line, but we've got kid statements, cooked books showing scams, and hard evidence of misconduct. Lily's ignored complaints are now the cornerstone. We need her as a witness, not a fugitive. The intercom buzzed again, the workers downstairs growing agitated. Detective, Protective Services is at my door with an order to take her. What can I do? Hold him off till I get there. She's a safeguarded witness in an ongoing criminal probe. Her protection trumps everything. I'm 10 minutes out. Robert shouted to Mrs. O'Malley. Shift gears, keep the kids put, but we might have a win coming. He pressed the intercom. I hear you about Lily Reed. But I've just spoken with Detective Ramirez from PDI's Girls, a key witness in a felony case. You'll have to loop him in before any moves. A tense pause. We have our mandate. And I have mine from law enforcement. Ramirez is en route to clarify. Feel free to cool your heels downstairs. He headed to the room, finding Lily distracting Alex with a hand game, her strength shining even in terror. Lily, big update. They busted the guy who hurt you and the others. You're not the bad guy, you're the one who helped expose it all. Her eyes bulged. They got Thorne? For real. For real. The detective wants your side to nail the case, not punish you. A tentative smile broke through. So, no going back. It opens doors, real, legal ones. And Lily, I gotta ask something huge, but think it through. Alex bounced. Is it what I hope? Robert knelt, eye to eye with both. Lily, you've woven yourself into our lives these past days. You revived Alex, brought joy back when I thought it was buried with Elena. It's quick, I know, but what if you stayed for good? How does that sound? She gaped. Like family. Permanent. I'll start the adoption process. My lawyer says we've got a solid shot, especially with the charges flying at that place. Joyful tears welled. You'd want me? A nobody from the gutters with zero to give? Lily, you gave us everything: life, hope, love we thought lost. You're priceless. Alex hooped. Say yes. We'll be siblings, learn all the songs, team up on Dad. The doorbell chimed. Security feed showed the detective and the now subdued workers. That's Ramirez. Ready to tell your truth to someone who'll listen for once. She straightened. Ready. And Mr. Robert, thanks for being the first grown-up to fight for me, not against. As he let them in, Robert mused on Ellen Ashby, beaming at this patchwork family rising from the ashes. Lily was their miracle, but maybe they were hers too. Detective Ramirez, a warm-eyed man in his 40s, put Lily at ease right away. Hey there, Lily. Word is you're one tough cookie who helped us spot some bad apples hurting kids. But mid-explanation to the workers, his phone buzzed. He listened, face shifting to shock and worry. Got it. He hung up, turning to Robert. That was my team. We've uncovered something wild about Lily's past that upends everything. He faced Lily kindly but firmly. In digging your file, we found your dad's story isn't what you thought. He didn't bail after your mom died from grief, was in a bad wreck 3 months later. Her color drained. What? He's been in a Portland rehab center, battling a head injury. Woke up 6 months ago asking for you every damn day, but the system fumbled your location in Foster Shuffle. The room went pin-drop quiet. Robert felt the floor tilt. This was joy for Lily, but a gut wrench for him. My dad's alive. Her voice was a thread. More than that, fighting tooth and nail to get strong for you. Docs call his recovery a miracle. Talking clear, memories sharp, moving almost normal. He's been hounding workers to find you. Robert's heart twisted, thrilled for her, devastated at the thought of losing this light they'd just found. There's extra, Ramirez added. Your dad caught wind of Alex's story in the news. The kid, not eating after losing his mom. Told his counselor it screamed like something his Lily would jump to fix. He's been hoping you'd land with folks who get your knack for healing through food and kindness. She looked baffled. He knew about Alex? Not details, but he knows you inside out. Bragged to everyone at the center about his girl's talent for mending sad hearts. How your mom passed on those love-infused recipes. Said if you were out there, you'd gravitate to someone needing it. Alex piped up. Sounds like a cool dad, Lily smart like you. Robert wrestled inner turmoil, had envisioned Lily as his daughter, but how could he block a man who'd clawed back from the brink for his kid? When can I see him? Lily asked, voice quivering with equal parts excitement and dread. Video chat today, in person tomorrow if it feels right. But know this, he gets you've been through hell and wants what's best, even if it's slow going to reconnect. Lily turned to Robert, eyes brimming. Mr. Robert, I'm all mixed up. I want to see my dad, but leaving you and Alex. You rescued me too. He took her hands. The key is what feels right for you, no pressure. Maybe we can all be part of your world somehow. Ramirez grinned. That's precisely what he suggested. Asked if the people sheltering you would meet him wants to thank him face-to-face for stepping up when he couldn't. Mrs. O'Malley, teary, chimed in. This girl sparked so much mending here. If her dad's anything like her, we're in for something special. Alex tugged her sleeve. Hey, invite your dad for broth night. You cook for everybody, teach the tunes, and he can share baby Lily tales. Lily glanced around at the faces offering more care in days than years on her own. Could that work? My dad joining this new family. Absolutely, Ramirez said. His first words post-coma were, where's my Lily? Who's looking after her? He'll be over the moon meeting the answers. But his radio crackled with urgency, his face darkening. Copy that. On it. He looked at them gravely. Station update. Major twist in the thorn mess that pulls Lily in deeper. We've learned about the other kids, and it blows the case wide open. What about them? Lily asked, voice steady despite the storm. Several have no kin to go back Totheria drift, needing safe havens while we untangle. And Lily, a 5-year-old named Ethan, keeps asking for you. Told our shrink you sang him through bad dreams. Split your meals when pickings were slim. He's shut down, won't trust a soul. Robert's heart lurched. How many we talking? 7 in limbo placements, but 3 are in rough shape. Ethan, his 6-year-old sis Mia, and 4-year-old Diego. Not eating, mute, trauma signs our standard fosters can't touch. Lily stood taller. They need the songs, the ingredient chat, someone who gets the fear and loneliness. Alex looked up. Dad, Lily saved me. Maybe she can save them. And we can help. Robert surveyed the room. Lily's purposeful gaze, Alex's renewed energy, Mrs. O'Malley's nod, Ramirez's curiosity. Detective, what's the process if we step up for those 3 temporary to get M steady? Emergency foster license, your clean record, and means speed it up. But you ready for the load? These kids are scarred deep. Lily met his eyes. I know scared kids inside out, mom's lessons plus street smarts. Songs, food, safety, that's the start they crave. Robert pictured his vast space, his resources, extra hands he could hire. But deeper, he saw the miracle in Alex, the warmth Lily ignited. Mrs. O'Malley, could we handle 3 more short-term? She squared her shoulders. This place could house a battalion, and I've mothered through tougher storms. If Lily leads, and these babes need us, it's our calling. Alex vibrated with thrill. It'll be like a huge crew. Lily teaches the magic, I share my stuff. Maybe they help with my big ocean puzzle I was too down to touch. Ramirez looked impressed. This is off script, but with Lily's bond, it could be perfect. One more heads up. Your dad, Lily, he's tracked this from his bed. When he heard about the displaced kids, he volunteered. Pre-crash, he managed builds. Now he's offering to fix up whatever spot takes him, even mid-recovery. Tears glistened in Lily's eyes. My dad's pitching in for them too. He said, my girl's a heart fixer. If she's with folks who see that, I want to back that family up. The scale hit Robert from 2 shattered souls to 6 kids needing salvation. It was daunting, exhilarating, controversial. Even could a grieving tycoon really pivot to instant dad for a brood of traumatized strangers? Detective, set up the call with her dad. And the kids went. Video this afternoon, little ones by nightfall if greenlit. But grasp this, it's therapy marathons, doc visits, school setups, patience like a saint. Lily moved to the window, staring at the misty city. Turning back, her resolve shone. Mr. Robert, Alex, Mrs. O'Malley, you pulled me from the edge when I figured no one cared if I vanished. Now we can do that for others. If Dad's on board, and you're game, let's go for it. Robert saw his son's eager nod, Mrs. O'Malley's practical spark. Okay, let's forge the family these kids have earned. But Ramirez's phone rang, his expression turning stormy. Understood. Heading in. He faced them with gravity. Portland Hospital, Lily's dad just made a bold move that's rewriting our playbook. The call left the room, suspended in tension. Lily squeezed Alex's hand, face ashen. What move? She breathed. He signed out against Doc's orders. Driving here, no cold stand waiting to hold you. And hearing about the other kids, he figured he's fit enough to jump in and help right away. Her eyes ballooned. Today's the day. ETA 2 hours. And he's got company. Robert tensed. Who? He's linked with a nonprofit for kid trauma recovery. Brought Dr. Emily Wong, a specialist in foster fallout. Wants to guarantee every child gets pro support from the jump. Lily slumped, the whirlwind overwhelming. Dad's coming. With backup for the kids. Ramirez smiled softly. He spent half a year rehabbing with one goal: you safe and thriving. Learning you'd been mending other broken kids? Said it's what your mom would have cheered for. Alex tilted his head. Lily, you excited or freaked? Both, she confessed. I've wished for this reunion every night for years. But what if I've changed too much? What if he sees the street in me and pulls away? Mrs. O'Malley sat beside her. Love doesn't nitpick, dear. He's coming to embrace the survivor you are, the girl who found her way to hearts that treasure her. Robert knelt. No matter how this plays with your dad, you're etched in our family now. You've reshaped us that doesn't fade. The next hour buzzed with prep. Mrs. O'Malley whipping up feasts, Alex setting out toys for welcome, Lily duplicating her mom's recipes so each new kid could claim their own magic. The intercom buzzed. Lily stiffened like stone. Ready? Robert asked gently. She nodded, trembling hands held by Alex and Robert as they approached the door. Opening it revealed Ramirez, a man mirroring Lily's features, same determined jaw, warm eyes, but with salt and pepper hair and cautious steps from healing. Next to him, a woman with compassionate eyes and a doctor's satchel. Lily, the man choked, emotion raw. Dad, she whispered. Thomas Reed dropped to his knees. Lily flew into his embrace. They clung, sobs echoing, as the room blurred with shared tears. My fierce girl, he murmured into her hair. Forgive me for not being there. You had to be so tough alone. Not totally alone, she sniffled. I found Alex and Mr. Robert and Mrs. O'Malley kept me going. And now we're going to keep others going too. Thomas looked up at Robert, eyes shining. I can never repay you for guarding my world when I failed. Robert helped them rise. Thomas, your daughter's the hero. She mended my broken home. We're the grateful ones for the gift of her. Dr. Wong stepped up. Beautiful as this is, 3 frightened kids wait below. They need to see Lily's okay to even consider trusting. Lily dried her face, resolve firming. Ethan, Mia Daigathiri here? In the lobby with a worker. Ethan's clammed up, but your name got his first spark. Lily surveyed her circle. Dad, Robert and Alex, Mrs. O'Malley, Dr. Wong. Are we truly building this? A massive family that fixes each other. Thomas's smile bloomed, his first true one in years. Your mom preached families are chosen bonds of love and shield. She'd be bursting with pride at what you've started. Robert agreed. We'll need expansions rooms, gear, endless grace. But yeah, Lily, we're all in. Alex pulled at her. Let's fetch him. Show the kitchen for singing broth. Lily eyed her dad. You up for this chaos? He stood prouder. Lily, rehab's fire was fueled by dreams of us together. Seeing you heal others? I'm all in, stronger than ever. Minutes later, the once quiet penthouse thrummed with 6 kids' energy, 3 devoted adults, and Dr. Wong sketching healing plans. Lily guided Ethan in greeting potatoes. Alex aided Mia's measuring. Diego chuckled at Mrs. O'Malley's antics. Robert watched, knowing fractured souls often forge the toughest bonds. His lawyer texted, papers prepped for adoptions. Judge calls it unprecedented but undeniable. Gazing at the lively kitchen, broth scent mingling with laughs, Robert thought of Elenash thrive in this beautiful mayhem, a home brimming with needy hearts finding solace. Lily met his gaze, her smile brilliant, a kid discovering that saving others heals your own wounds. Outside, flurries dusted Boston, a soft veil of fresh starts. What do you think? Should a powerful guy like Robert be able to fast-track adoptions with his money and connections? Or does that undermine the system meant to protect kids? Is it fair to pull traumatized children into a blended family so quickly? Or could it do more harm than good? Would you risk everything to build a family like this if you were in Robert's shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like if this story got you thinking, and subscribe for more tales that spark debate.